Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I'm glad you guys are here. Today we're going to be covering some kind of routine maintenance things, but not really. Two things wrong with my 2005 Acura TL. For starters, key in the ignition, turn it on. The fan is on full blast, and you can see the head unit here is completely off. You can turn it on. Can adjust the temperature and everything. Press off, it's still on. So we'll be replacing the blower motor resistor, which is located under here behind the glove box. Pretty simple fix. And also, when you turn the ignition, nothing happens, which I've diagnosed to the starter. So we're replacing the starter and the blower motor resistor. Hope you enjoyed. All right, first step obviously is removing your battery cover. Pull mine off. It's pretty easy. It's got a little rubber grommets right here, and one that's back over in here. Just pop that off. You're going to go ahead and take the battery off. In my case, it's a 10 mil wrench. Go ahead and remove that, and then loosen this here, your battery tray, or your battery holder here. You screws your battery down to your battery tray. Pull those out, and then we're going to try to remove the actual casing that the battery's sitting in to give us a little more access and room to work. Okay, now that the plastic tray and the battery are out, we're going to actually remove the battery tray itself. We got two 10 mils here, two 12 mils here. We're going to pull those out, pull this tray out, and then we'll have more access to the starter, which is right here. And it should be fairly simple. It's two bolts. They're going to be in pretty tight, but they should come out with no problem. Okay, the battery tray is now out. Something that I had overlooked or didn't mention just before, there are two more bolts that are on the bottom side of the battery tray. So if the battery tray is sitting in like this, right down here you see these two slots. There are two more bolts right here. Mine is apparently missing one, and this one was loose, which made it a lot easier to get it out, but those could be a little tricky. Anyway, they're also 12 mil, just food for thought. Now what we're going to do is take all the connectors off here for the starter. Anything that's connected on, we're going to remove those, and then start working on the starter bolts. All right, so we got main power disconnected. We got this little piece here disconnected. It runs in. Now we got to take the two bolts holding the starter on, which one is right behind this coolant hose here. One's there. They're 17 millimeter. The other one is just on the bottom side down here. Put your finger back there, you can feel it. That one's a little bit more of a challenge, but it's simple tools. I got an extension and a large breaker bar that helps leverages power in these situations, but little finessing and we'll get it out. All right, we've got the old starter out. Something you can do, maybe if you're just curious or something, you can take a look in here. If you can see or not right here. Check your flywheel or whatnot. Inspect the teeth on it, see how they look, but that's really not too terribly important if you're replacing the starter. Anyway, here's the old starter. That's what it looks like. Something to be mindful of when you're pulling it out is the top and bottom bolt size. There's a huge difference. You obviously don't want to get those mixed up. So we have the long one here, goes on the bottom. The top one here is way shorter. Just something to keep in mind when you're reinstalling. But anyway, another good thing to do, get the part number off this one, take it to your local parts house, get them to run it and give you one that's compatible, or go to the dealership and get charged an astronomical amount. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and put this in and move on to the heater switch. All right, you've got our new starter on. You're gonna have to excuse the noise and stuff. There's cars driving by, and since the starter was dead, I couldn't put it in the garage for a nice quiet filming environment. But anyway, new starter's on. We got our main power cable hooked back up. We got this hooked back up. We got the bolts torqued down. The top one, I believe, is 33 foot-pounds. The bottom one is 47 foot-pounds. That's out of the service manual. Make sure you go ahead and torque those, or if you want to hand tight them, you know, that's totally on you. I like torquing stuff down back to factory specs. Outside of that, we're going to go ahead and reinstall everything in reverse order. It's pretty self-explanatory, and then jump into the main cabin and replace the heater switch. Excuse the lighting. I'm quickly running out of daylight here, but we'll try to get what we can for this blower motor resistor. All right, so I'm on the passenger side. This is where the glove box sits. I pulled the whole glove box out because I wanted to check the cabin air filter, which is right here. So I can tilt this up a little bit. I need to get a new one of those. I'll probably do a little quick thing on that later. But there's a kick panel that sits right in this area here. Basically, you just pull that out, and the blower motor resistor sits right here where this connector's at. Right here. We're gonna pull that out. There are 2 Phillips head screws on either side. We're gonna pull those out, and it simply pulls out. Okay. I'll get it out, install the new one, and I'll show you that, guys. All right, this is the blower motor resistor. It's a really simple piece. Just the 2 Phillips head screws there, and then remove the connector. Again, it's just under the glove box, so you just gotta drop that bottom kick panel and pull it out and install the new one.